labor unions, grinding Nigeria to a halt with a shutdown of schools, airports, hospitals, and the national grid, plunging the nation into darkness, although the federal government has said that it is committed to a national minimum wage that is higher than 60,000 naira at the resolution reached during the meeting with organized labor on Monday night. The union, in a post on X, announced that the strike action will continue until they hear from their organs at a meeting scheduled for today. Many Nigerians say they support the strike and have called on the federal government to meet the needs of labor, given the overbloated expenditures of federal government parastatals. The chairman of the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, Betty Bangose, said that the Senate should put their salaries on minimum wage to understand the plights of the labor unions.
When you get paid, within 2-3 days, the salary is nowhere to be found. Is that not equal? The suffering is too much. Why will the federal government, they said round table, the NSC, the TUC, they have been, deliberating on this round table for so long. They didn't feel that they should be putting 200 today, 300 tomorrow, 500 the next day for a minimum wage. It is enough. Enough is enough, please. Let them go, let the Senate, the whatever, let them put their salary on this minimum wage too, and let's see what will happen. Wow. Yeah. Let it go round. Let it go round like that.
Well, can you blame Betty at this point? If we're seeing the senators making what? A whooping 30 million naira
a month?
Yeah.
Yes.
The National Assembly per month. If you're seeing them earning that amount of money, why wouldn't Nigerians agree with Labour at this point? We've talked about the fact that, the policies that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu put into action when he came into power, has really caused the inflation that we're experiencing now. But having said that, these negotiations have been going on for a year. Let me take Atedo Peter Side's tweet. He wrote, "The Nigerian minimum wage negotiations were going to be unnecessarily difficult because federal government poisoned the atmosphere for responsible negotiations by approving a reckless 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy, luxury SUVs, for legislators, etc., thereby creating the false impression that the federal government was rich." Well, Finn wrote, "The Nigerian economy can't afford 100,000 minimum wage. I agree that NLC has a point that about must be increased." Well, he meant that amount must be increased. But this nation can't pay 100,000 naira self. We have not grown wealth to afford 100,000 naira a month. 100,000 naira is $72. Well, NLC had been, posting a series of tweets, and this is one of them where they broke down, the amount the senators are making, and the House of Assembly can. They deny this. I hope you can help me with this because I can't really see that.
All right, so they said a living wage.
There.
Yeah, can we?
No, I can't.
All right, so the picture, can they deny this? Nigerian workers deserve better. A living wage is possible. And then goes on to break down Nigeria senators' earnings, highlighting wardrobe allowance. That's wardrobe allowance. They're highlighting out of 621,061 naira and 37 kobo. That's what brings you to the amount. So the basic salary is 2,484,245 and 50 kobo. But when you add all the allowances, it goes on to become 29,479,749 monthly.
I believe
they get hardship allowance when Nigerians are the ones facing the hardship.
They get hardship allowance. I think Queen B broke it down as well. This is another Twitter user. She wrote, "This is pure wickedness. How can anyone justify one furniture allowance at 7.45 million? accommodation allowance at 5 million naira, vehicle allowance at 10 million naira, vehicle maintenance at 1.8 million naira, hardship allowance at 1.2 million naira. All of these are monthly in a country that is the poverty capital of the world. Labor must insist and never be cowed or go below 200,000 naira minimum wage. This was horrible yesterday. The Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in Ikeja was also shut down. Doctors and other health workers joined the strike. Let's look at that video before I come to you, Dr. Abati.
Yeah, right now at the General Hospital last week, Ikeja, no doctor around. As at this morning, everywhere we are there, no doctor to attend to them. You can see, they are chasing the workers out. You can see, this is General Hospital last week. You can see.
I believe the union, health union, stated that emergency workers were still, on call. But you can see our nation at this moment plunged into darkness. Schools are closed, airports are closed, and we blame the federal government. I blame the federal government. I don't know about you, Dr. Abati. This is going on for too long.
From the perspective of organized labor, the strike action yesterday, from their own perspective, was effective. They shut down the airports, they shut down the hospitals. ASU has also joined the strike. 18 other unions are involved in the strike. And the costs, as our guest, Dr. Adidipe, was saying yesterday, runs into billions of naira. But even more than that, the cost is to be measured in terms of the pain that many Nigerians have had to suffer. People who could not have access to medical services, people who could not get food to buy, people whose operations, businesses have been disrupted by the cessation of banking services, which is why government needs to find a solution to it. And it's good that they have returned to the negotiating table and they say that they will meet on a daily basis until this matter is resolved. It has to be resolved anyway. The 2019 new National Minimum Wage Act having expired in April, so a new law must come up. But negotiation, dialogue is the main issue. I return to the point made by Mr. Atedo Peterside and others. Atedo Peterside's point is about, signaling. There's something in government about signaling. The kind of signal that you send out is what will determine public response to your administration. The government is buying SUV for legislators. The government is subsidizing Hajj trips, pilgrimages to the tune of 90 billion. And then the people also look at people in government living conspicuously, ostentatious conspicuous consumption, to use a more technical word, either in terms of their private lives or in terms of how they operate officially. So the people will say, well, it means that there is money. So if the money is there, then let us all benefit from it. You can't say government is broke, government is insolvent, and government is asking the people to make sacrifice, the same sacrifice that the lawmakers in the National Assembly are not making. Hardship allowance is 50% of basic salary. Basic salary is 2.4. Hardship allowance is 1.2. Please, what hardship are the people in the National Assembly going through? They even collect wardrobe allowance. And their wardrobe allowance is about 20% of basic salary, 621,000 for wardrobe allowance. Motor vehicle allowance is 40% of basic salary. The same vehicles bought by Nigerians, for them, they are also collecting 40% to maintain it. In fact, they even have something called entertainment allowance. 30% of basic salary, running into almost 900,000.
This is proven.
These lawmakers are collecting on our behalf, to enjoy pepper soup and jollof rice. And so Nigerians will say, what the heck
And you can't even pay 30,000 naira. Well, unfortunately, the woman, I think you mentioned her name as Betty,
Yes.
the labor activist, saying that maybe National Assembly members should start collecting 30,000 naira. Well, that is not likely to happen. Indeed, when the basic salary, when the new minimum wage is increased, you'll be surprised. They will no longer collect 29.9 million per month. It will go up.
Yeah. Nonsense.
In fact, they will even benefit more from it.
But
and then you have, again, the promotion of inequity, of inequality in this Nigerian environment.
Yes.
They say we should make sacrifice, but the people in government are not ready to sacrifice anything.
They should make sacrifices, but they shouldn't also politicize this. Rufai, I would like to take Bayo Ononuga's tweet, who actually said that, let me read this tweet. He wrote, it's saddening that Labour could go to this extreme. But it is not surprising to the prospective minds. Labour is harming the Nigerian people they claim to be fighting for. Today, many sick Nigerians could not access medical care at government hospitals, not even with critical medical conditions. It appears Labour is playing politics by other means. Many of the affiliates of the two central unions, NLC and TUC, are members and supporters of the Labour Party. They logically bear ill will and grudges against the Tinubu administration. What is clear is that the issue they claim to be fighting for cannot be resolved by blackmail or sabotage. They cannot even be resolved by the federal government unilaterally. The Labour leaders will still have to return to the negotiating table for a year. One whole year.
Audrey, Mr. Ononuga used the word blackmail. He used the word blackmail. When the APC government now and the APC politicians were in bed with Labour and they were fighting Jonathan's government, Dr. Abati then, Labour was good then, Abi, they did not know that part of the bastardization of the civil society space was when the civil society space went in cahoots. And these things I'm saying, we should note it, went in cahoots with the opposition then to bastardize and shut down this country for 2 weeks. What did Mr. Ononuga say about it then? Because if we want to play this game of equivalence, let's play it. Day one, strike pending. They will probably have the strike very soon. They shut this country down for 2 weeks. There was nothing wrong with it then. So if we want to play this game of blackmail, you should have a game on me. Let's play this game of Teddy Picker together. Let's be picking Teddy. Nigerians don't learn. Oji, you see, the docility of the followership in Nigeria is an important ingredient in the hands of politicians. And except Nigerians' eye clear, they will keep hitting us and doing us wayo every time. I ask you a question now today. This same furniture allowance, 2007 to now is going to 20 years. Did anything change? No. The lawmakers are still collecting all the allowance. Because these politicians know that Nigerians will just shout on the page of the newspaper. They will just shout on media. Rufai will talk, spit will dry in his mouth in a tire. And they will move on. This was the same allowance we protested about in 2007. It continues. This same thing reoccurred. This allowance also reoccurred during the time of Chuba Okadigbo. It continued then. So when there's a lot of docility and people can ask questions, it will only continue. And that's why you are seeing all the numbers you are seeing. That's why the NAS budget keeps increasing every year. And the people budget keeps suffering. Yes, we've heard all the arguments. We know Labour too can meet them halfway. But government has constantly shown bad faith. This was the same government that took a supplementary budget last year to be able to buy cars, 160 million. So after spending 160 million, then the next thing now, they are talking about using 10 million to give them cars every month. Why can't they buy fairly used made in Nigerian cars? Oji, please show them another empirical fact. Key them with data.
I would like, I'd like to pull up this tweet also by NLC. I mean, they actually broke this down. If we can pull that up, NAS budget and Nigerian workers' monthly minimum wage since 1999, over the years to 2024. Yes. In 1999, Ayo, how much was NAS budget?
2.2 billion naira.
And
3,000 naira.
He gets 3,000 naira. Yeah. They posted that. In 2023, 2020, please. How much was it?
29.5 billion naira.
And we are here, 2022.
In 2022,
let's go down to
2022. That is 139 billion naira.
That was NAS budget.
Yes.
And now we are at 344.9 billion naira for NAS budget, and you are budgeting a meager 30,000 naira. We have talked about this inflation for more than a year. We cannot, 100,000 naira. People say they can't pay, like Finn said, private sector can't pay 100,000 naira for the minimum wage. But I'm sure a lot of private sector can pay that 100,000 naira.
Yes.
There's something has to give. Something has to give.
And when we pull up figures like this, it's provocative, because then the same people who are consistently saying that, we don't have money, it is not consistent with their lifestyle. When Dr. Abati was breaking down the senator's earnings, one line was a newspaper allowance. This time that newspaper is online. If you wanted to cut 1.2 million naira already, then I did the calculation. If you were to pay, divide that by 30 days, that's if they read newspapers Monday to Sunday, it's 41,000, 400,000 naira per day for newspaper. Let me see. Guardian newspaper, 250 naira. Tribune, 250 naira. Vanguard, yes, 250 naira. This day, how much is this? The Dr. Pat, please, let me just, this day, this newspaper of record is,
how much is it?
How much is it? So that we see how many, 41,000 naira in one day. So just to see how, even if you buy it tonight, 41,000 naira, it just shows, that's just a little line from that to see that there's a lot of wastage. If you ask the Nigerian on the street, is Nigeria poor? They will tell you never. Why? Because we see the opulence of our politicians. We see the presidential, fleets. We see the governors. They're almost worshipped because of the amount of money. When they are doing charity, they spread money up and down, and you tell me Nigeria is poor, tell me another story. So if you're saying that Nigeria is poor and cannot afford to pay 100,000 naira, then it must be reflected in the way we should be seeing tightening. The president is saying, no, we cannot travel like this. I have to reduce my entourage and things like that. But we're not saying that. I think that's the disconnect.
All right, so they are saying the tripartite committee is going to meet every day now until they come to a resolution. They are saying that it's going to be higher than 60,000 naira. I mean, something's got to give. Our Nigerians are suffering. Our children have not written exams. There are people in the hospital not getting treatment. Please, federal government, come to the aid of labor. We'll take another story. The Redeemed Christian Church of God over the weekend suspended Pastor Idowu Iluyomade, who is the pastor of the City of David Parish and the head of the Papa family of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. The pastor was reportedly suspended for 3 months by the Governing Council.
I am here to advise the NLC, the TUC, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress never to back off from this strike they have entered. Do not back off. I see the Association of Health Workers have joined them. I want everyone to join them. The police, I want the police to join these people. Any law that will keep you from not joining this Trade Union Congress and the NLC to fight for your right, may God punish such power. I want the army also to join the NLC on this strike. Let Nigeria be granted once. This is impunity. Our teachers are suffering. Teachers that made everyone, I am speaking in English today. English is not our language. It's my teacher and my lecturers that taught me how to speak. Everyone that is speaking, writing English is taught by a teacher. But these people are purely neglected. They are paying the lawmakers, the Senate, the National House of Assembly, a whooping sum of 30 million every month. Even poverty allowance. And you say Trade Union Congress, your money is small. Raise it to 1 million. Raise it to 1 million. Look at lawmakers. Okay, if lawmakers will be paid all these allowances, if they will be paid whooping sum of 30 million, what of the executive, which is the police, the army, the civil defense, man o' war, What of the Nigerian customs, immigration? Where are they? If a lawmaker will be paid such amount of money, the executive should pay the same amount of money. Look at how police is suffering. Look at how army people are suffering. These people cannot open mouth and say it because of the Army Act, because of the Police Act, the Uniform Act, that they should not be involved in social media. These people are really suffering. When I was in Owerri at a police mess in Oluro, opposite Oluro Secretariat, I saw what these people are passing through. I saw them, what they are passing through. That even an ordinary person who is handling a shop is insulting police people because they are owing a lot of money. The people that is in Owerri, I believe police that is in Owerri will bear me witness. Subscribe to this channel immediately and share it across to people. Share it to any government worker. This country have reached the extent that we should, anything we need, we should sell this country and take the money and share it to ourselves. How can a section of the government be siphoning the pocket of the people? They are there buying SUV worth of 150 million. No one is talking. Everybody kept quiet. And TUC have gone to strike. Now they are telling them, TUC make it 1 million. If they don't agree, let us finish Nigeria and sell it. What kind of impunity is that? How do you people suffer people and let them and tell them to start laughing? Can you push me and tell me where I will fall? Will you beat me and tell me I should keep quiet? I should not cry. What kind of thing, what kind of impunity have Nigerian government imposed on people? Lawmakers, you people are eating this money and your mind is not telling you that you people are committing felony against the people. TUC have gone to strike. You are telling them, come back. Come and do what? The job the TUCs and the NLCs are doing, is it smaller to what you are doing? What are you doing in that upper chamber? Is it not to make law? Is it not somebody that is executing that law, which is the police? The police is wearing one cap for 1 year. You see some police people, they are wearing patch. They have patch. Some army people are wearing patch. But they gather themselves. And you people are there eating whooping sum of 30 million in a month. What kind of impunity is that? What kind of mistreatment is that in the 21st century? A salary a senator have not collected in the United States is what you people are eating here without anything happening. If it is to rush and impend the signature on change of national anthem, you run it fast, but you cannot impend that there must be a 24 hours light in Nigeria. You did not append that there must be schools, running schools from the government in Nigeria. What kind of wickedness is that? What kind of impunity is that? Do you people want us to trust you again? And anybody that talks, you say, let him match it like fire, let him quench. I thank God that people have started having their senses. This nonsense must stop. This nonsense and the idiocy must stop in Nigeria. Trade Union Congress, NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress, raise your salary to 1 million. Let us grind this place and anyhow it will be, let it be. I am not the one that will die, so Nigeria will be fine. Let me be alive and let Nigeria continue rumbling and tumbling. Don't allow anybody to kill you. If they kill you, God will still forgive them. My name is Ambassador Singo Edwin. I am a man. I tell you I'm a man. If I take the seat of power, I will make Nigeria fine. It doesn't take being a politician. I have traveled all over the world. I'm in the diaspora. I've gone to several places and see what they are doing. I can do it. And you people are here siphoning us and telling us nothing will happen. You people are like birds that goes to perch on a tree and defecate on the tree and ask the tree, what will you do? This nonsense must stop. God bless anyone who wants peace, and anybody that doesn't want peace, let peace never come to his life and his doorpost in the name of Jesus.